A very good day to you people. My name is Mohit, and guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a sprite navbar. And when I say a sprite navbar, basically what I mean is that it will be using just one single image, and through the menu items it will be showing different areas of the same image. And we'll soon see what I actually mean by that. Guys, I have the document already open in front of me. The menu bar is ready. I'm in the live view, guys. Let me hover over these different items. Very cool, isn't it, guys? Very cool, very professional, right? Guys, let me show you the image that is responsible for this. Let me go to the local site folder, guys, and this is the image, right? So guys, as you can see, this is the main image, and the CSS ensures that different areas of this image are shown through the different menu items, and that's why it is called the sprite navbar, the navigation bar, right? Okay, so one single image that I created in Adobe Fireworks CS5. Cool. Let me get back to the document, guys. Right, guys, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create this document from scratch, so you'll know exactly how this was done. Let me say a file and a new. Let me say that I want the page to be of the type HTML, layout to be a none, say create. Right, let me be in the split view, guys. Let me click on this icon, and let me start creating an unordered list. So item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, and item 5. Right, and guys, as you can see in the code area, that we have the opening and the closing body tags. Inside we have the opening and the closing UL tags, inside which we have 5 LI opening and closing tags for the different list items. Cool. Let me start creating my CSS rules after clicking on the new CSS rule button. Guys, I would want the style sheet to be an external style sheet, so I'll drop down and select the option new style sheet. Alright, and then I would want to apply the rule that I'm creating to UL, which is fine, the unordered list, and straight away say OK. Dreamweaver will want to know the name of my style sheet, so I'll call it my styles.css. Cool. And let me go to the box category and start defining the width and the height and the position where I would want the sprite menu bar to be. So let me say a width of 625. I'll leave the height for now. A top margin of 100. Let me set the left and the right margins to auto. Alright, so I can center the navigation bar. Right, and then I'll go to the list category. I'll set the list style type to be a none, ensuring that the bullets will disappear. Let me straight away say OK, guys. Guys, as you can see, the items no more have the bullets. That's because I've set the list style type to be a none, and they are more or less centered across the page, as we'll soon find out. Let me take a live preview in Google Chrome after saving the changes. Let me call it menu bar. Right. Alright, guys, as you can see, the sprite navigation bar that we are creating is kind of sort of centered on the page. It will be very soon, if it is not right now, at least horizontally, if not vertically. Cool. So getting back to Dreamweaver, guys. Okay, guys, let me create the next rule now. After clicking on this new CSS rule button, dropping the contextual selector to a compound, guys, so you should notice that my styles.css is the place where the these rules of the styles we are creating are getting saved. It's an external style sheet. Okay, now this time I would want to create the rule for all li items that are falling within the ul items. So in simple words, for this rule will be for all the li items. Cool. Let me straight away say okay, and all I need to do is go to the box category, set the float to a left, and then say okay. Guys, as you can notice, now what's happened is item 1, 2, 3 and 4 are now adjacent to each other instead of being top bottom. Cool. Okay, next the next thing that I wish to do is, guys, I want to convert all these items to links. So making sure that I'm in the code view, selecting item number 1, going to the link category and temporarily putting a pound sign here. I don't have any link ready, guys, so I can temporarily put a pound sign where the link is, hitting enter in the field, and I'll have item number 1 actually turns itself to a link. How do I know? The item has turned itself to a blue, right, and it has that underline under it. That's telling me that now it's a link. Cool. I'll repeat the same procedure for item number 2, 3, 4 and 5. So a pound sign or hash sign, hitting enter. 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 And that's the last one. Enter. So guys, item 1 through item 5 are now actually links. Very good. Okay, now let's create the next rule now. New CSS rule button. Okay, and yes, it'll be a compound rule. Rather, let me say cancel. Let me make sure that the cursor is blinking on any of the items. Let me click on the plus button. Okay, let me remove this body tag out here. So very intelligently, Dreamweaver understands that the rule that I'm going to create will apply to all A means anchor or link items which are within the li, which are within the ul, which is fine. That's exactly what I wish to do. Right, let me then say okay, and then I will go to the box category. This time, guys, I want to set a width and the height for all the link items so I can actually space them out evenly, separate them. They are kind of touching each other right now. So let me give it a width of 125 and a height of 56. Guys, the image that is responsible or which will be used for this navigation bar is designed in such a way, I know the calculations, and that's why I'm choosing the width and the height to be 125 by 56. I'll show you the image in a while. And then let me say apply. Nothing happens. Next, guys, I'll go to the block category and set a display to be a block. Now guys, if you've been through some of my earlier tutorials, and most of you guys know what will happen if you set the display to be a block. The height and the width do get honored. Alright, the moment I say apply, guys, you should notice that they are spaced out now. Okay, and the whole chunk of block is then treated as the link and not just the word itself. Cool. Alright, and then, guys, just temporarily I'll remove the background color. Let me give it a background color of let's say a pound sign FCC. Say apply. That's just temporary, guys. I'll come back and I'll remove this color. Alright, also, guys, making sure that I'm in the block category, I would want to set the text indent to, let's say, a -50, and let me say okay. That's -50 px, guys. Let me go back, box block -50 px, right, and say okay. Let me take a live view. let me take a preview in Google Chrome rather after saving the changes. So guys, now what has happened is the moment I set the text indent to be a -50, it's actually shifted the text out of the navigation area by 50 pixels, right? Let me go back to Dreamweaver. If I were to set this -50 to, let's say, a -150, let's see what happens. Now guys, it's shifted the text outside from the left hand side. It's thrown the text away, and that's exactly what I am looking to do. I want the text to be thrown away into the orbit, and if I really want to throw it into the orbit absolutely out of sight, what I would do is I would set the text indent to be a -9999. There's no way it'll be showing up on the page, guys. Let me take a preview in Google Chrome after saving the changes. Absolutely, God knows where the text is now. I didn't want the text. Cool. Let me get back to Dreamweaver, guys. Now let me tell you why did I set the height to a 56 and the width to a 125 pixels. Let me go back to the local site folder, fetch that image, guys. There it is. Alright, now guys, this image has 5 different sections, and each section is 125 by 56. So 125 by 56, 125 by 56, so on and so forth, 125 by 56, so on and so forth, 125 by 56. So each block, and we have 10 blocks out here, are 125 by 56 pixels. That was the reason I chose the height and the width to be a 56 and a 125. Right. And guys, when you set the display to a block, it will ensure that the height and the width do actually get honored, which was not the case earlier. Anyways guys, it's time to create yet another rule. So let me click on this new CSS rule button, drop down the contextual selector to a compound, and this time, guys, I would want the rule to apply to all the anchor tags within the li tags that are within the ul tags, but which have the class first. So I'm going to say a dot out here, a period, and then say first. Alright, and straight away say OK, and then guys, go to the background category. Now the time has come to actually start using the background image. So let me click on the browse button, guys. The image is bg.png. Let me say OK. Make sure that the image does not repeat itself along the x or the y axis. Set the background position x and y to a 0 0, which ensures that the image will be tucked in the left top corner, guys, and then say OK. Nothing happened. That's because the first li item does not carry the class first. Okay, so I would need to manually introduce the class first. So I would say a class and say first. Alright, now guys, if I take a live view now, the first block of the menu item is actually showing through, which is very, very cool. Nice. Alright, now guys, what I'll do is I'll click on the rule that I just created, which is ULLIA first. I'll hit F2 on my keyboard, then I'll say Control C to copy this chunk of text. Click on the new CSS rule button, drop down the contextual selector to a compound, okay, paste whatever I had copied, and then say a colon and a hover. Okay, so I'm creating a new rule for the hover state for the list item, the same list item. Right, let me say OK. Let me go to the background category and then to the background image. Choose the same image, guys. Make sure that it does not repeat itself. Okay, but now guys, I would want that the image should be shown through in such a manner that it shift itself 56 pixels towards the top, and the way to do is to set the background image Y position to a minus 56. Keep the background position X same. Okay, so along the X-axis I wouldn't want the image to shift, but along the Y-axis I would definitely want the image to shift upwards by 56 pixels. Let me say okay. And guys, if I hover over the first list item, now you can see the subtle change in the shade. Cool. In fact, let me save the file, go to my local site folder and tell you exactly what I did. Okay, let me increase the size of this image. Now guys, without the normal without the normal state, in the normal state, this was the area that was showing up, since I set the X and the Y background positions to be a 0 0. But the moment I set the Y position to be a minus 56, since the height of the link is just 56, the upper 56 gets chopped off and the bottom 56 shows through, and that's the reason this then becomes the normal state and the bottom half then becomes the hover state. Cool. Right, let me get back to Dreamweaver, guys. And now guys, what I'm gonna do is, just the way I attached a class attribute to the first list item or to the first link, I'm gonna attach another class appropriately called class 2 to the second list item or the second link, right? And which also means that I need to create one more CSS rule. Drop down the contextual selector to a compound. Rather, let me cancel it. Let me just what I'll do is I'll play it a little smart, guys, this time. Let me expand this area. In fact, what I need to do is I need to go inside the external style sheet, guys. So I'm going to the mystyles.css file. Guys, what I'll do is I'll copy the last two rules that I'd created. Okay, so a control C out here, and then I'll paste it just under it, and then I'll start making the changes, guys. The next rule that I'm creating will be applying itself to all anchor tags, but with a class second instead of first. So I'll replace the word first with a second. Alright, it will use the same background image, which will not repeat itself. These are the X and the Y values, guys. I would want the X position to shift by a minus 125 pixels, guys, for the second link item. So basically I'm telling the picture to move itself 125 pixels towards the left. Okay, I wouldn't want to alter the Y position, which is fine, right? And as far as the hover state is concerned, guys, let me change the first to a second. Making sure that the X background position is set to minus 125 pixels. Cool. And the Y position will be minus 56, which is fine. That's because I would want the image to shift 56 pixels towards the top, guys. The area through which it will show up is 125 by 56. So what will happen is that the image will get chopped off 125 pixels from the left and 56 pixels from the top when I use these minus values, 125 minus 56 minus. Let's check it out. Let me save the changes. Let me say save all, get back to the source code, guys, and let me get back to my CSS file. Here I have defined the rule as second, and in the source code I've called it 2. Let me change it to second. Right, this makes more sense. Let me take a live view. Let me take a view preview in Google Chrome. Right, so guys, the menu bar is taking shape just the way I want it. So very intelligently I'm using the bigger picture and ensuring that only a specific area is showing through in the normal and the hover states. Cool, very cool. Right, now guys, what I'll do is just the way I've attached classes first and second, let me attach third, fourth and fifth out here as well. So to the third anchor or the link tag, let me attach a class of third, and a fourth out here, and a fifth out here. Cool. Let me go to the external style sheet, mystyles.css. Let me say save all first. Okay, now guys, these were the last two rules that I had created just a while ago. Let me copy them. Alright, let me paste it just under. Okay, and let me start making the changes out here. So now the second becomes third, which means the rule will apply to all anchor tags which have a class third. But I'll shift the X and Y positions, guys. So 125 becomes 250 now. Okay, and out here second becomes third again. So all anchor tags which bear the class third, and let me change this to 250 as well. The Y position remains, which is fine. Let me just take a preview in Google Chrome now after saving the changes. Alright, very cool. Just two more list items or link items to go now. Okay, so let me copy this chunk of code, Control C, and then paste it out here. Let me change the third to a fourth. Okay, so every A tag which carries the rule fourth, this minus 250 changes now to 325 instead, and 325 here as well. This third becomes a fourth. Right, let me take a live view. I messed up somewhere with the calculations. Let me go back and check what has gone wrong. Okay guys, I think I figured out what the problem is. This minus 325 should actually be minus 375. I need to add a minus 125 every time. So minus 250 and then minus 125 more. So that'll be minus 375 out here and out here as well. Cool, let me take a preview in Google Chrome. This time I should be fine now. Right. Okay, so 4 link items or menu items have been taken care of. So only the last list item is left. Let's tackle that as well. So let me copy this much, this bit, a Control C, drop it out here just under it, and say a Control V out here. Change the fourth rule to the fifth rule, so FIFTH, right, and this minus 375 then becomes a minus 5. Alright, so this becomes a minus 500, this becomes a minus 500 as well. Right, let me take a publish preview or preview in Google Chrome, guys. Right, the menu bar is ready, no problems at all. Guys, if you remember, this rule ULLIA actually carried a background color, which was this one. I've actually removed it after having paused the video. Okay, this is the background color that it carried. You might not have done that yet. Alright, so just locate the rule ULLIA, trash the rule. and the menu bar would be ready in just the way it should be. Wonderful, cool looking, professional looking menu bar, guys. Hope you like this tutorial, guys. I'll see you next time with yet another tutorial. And before I wind up, just to let you know, guys, when you're creating this image, the image that I've used for the menu bar, I would suggest that you include the text menu item 1, menu item 2, 3, 4, etc., etc., and 5 at the time of creation of the image. You should engrave it on the image itself and look cool out there. Okay, use a Photoshop, maybe use a Fireworks, the way I've done. You have a good day. Peace. Bye bye.